So, Jeff, what's going on with the Fraser Valley real estate market right now? Let's get right into it.
Well, Rick, February 2025 showed some interesting shifts. The Fraser Valley saw 920 home sales, up 13% from January, yet 26% lower than February last year. Now, inventory is a big story here. Currently, there are about over 8,000 active listings, which is about 45% higher than February and a whopping 55% above the 10-year seasonal average. More listings are giving buyers greater choices and negotiating power.
The overall sales to active listings ratio sits at just 11%, clearly signaling a buyer's market. Anything below 12% typically favors buyers, as we've mentioned in past videos.
Well, if we're going to get to the specifics of things, right? Fraser Valley's benchmark price for all home types combined is around 962,000, which dipped slightly about 0.2% from last month. Taking a closer look, single-family detached homes rose about 0.5% month over month to 1.49. However, compared to last year, they are still down 0.6%.
Townhomes saw a small monthly decline, dropping 0.7% to around 820,600, and they're down about 2.1% from February last year. Condos also dipped by 0.3% to approximately 533,200. That's down 2.4% from last year.
Well, I mean, now let's take a little deeper digging into the local Surrey market, right? Detached homes in Surrey are stable with a benchmark price of around 1.62 million, down just slightly from last year by 0.2%. Townhomes and condos have seen more notable decreases, both dropping around 3.4% compared to last year.
In Cloverdale, specifically, detached homes actually saw a 1.6% increase to about 1.53 million, but townhomes dropped 3.5% to roughly 826,500, and condos fell 4.3% to around 582,700.
Well, meanwhile, North Surrey saw detached homes increase by 3% year over year, reaching approximately 1.5 million. However, townhomes and apartments both saw declines. Townhomes down 4.2%, around 749,000, I believe, and apartments down 3.5% to about 480,000. Sales have also picked up slightly compared to last month, with detached homes now averaging around 39 days to sell, condos 36 days, and townhomes moving a bit faster, just around 32 days.
Perfect. Thanks, Jeff. Now let's quickly recap what buyers and sellers should know. Sales have improved month over month, but remain below last year's numbers. Inventory is significantly higher, creating a clear buyer's market. Prices are relatively stable, but slightly lower year over year, especially noticeable in townhomes and condos. Now, Jeff, do you think that more inventory will keep hitting the real estate market as we head into the typical spring market? Do you think it's going to be a really busy year for buyers and sellers for real estate this year?
For sure. As we head into the spring market, we always see more inventory hitting the market. It's just a natural cycle of real estate. Sellers who have been waiting for better conditions usually start listing, and buyers who held off during the winter months jump back in. This year, I think we'll see a busier market, but how intense it gets depends on the interest rates and overall consumer confidence. If the rates hold steady, or even if they come down a bit, we could see a surge of buyers who have been waiting on the sidelines. That said, more listings don't always mean it's easier for buyers. Desirable homes will still get a lot of interest, and well-priced properties will move quickly. Now, for sellers, this means making sure their homes stand out in what could be a more competitive market. And for buyers, having financing in place and working with the right agent will be key. Overall, I expect a strong year ahead, but strategy will make all the difference.
Now, Jeff, would you agree that right now is a great time to buy real estate before interest rates are expected to drop more this year? As I think many people out there don't realize this, but when rates go down, borrowing becomes cheaper, right? So more buyers enter the market, and then competition drives prices up. Basically, lower rates can sometimes make housing even more expensive overall, is what I'm trying to say here. What do you think about that?
Well, absolutely, Ricky. I mean, I couldn't agree more to some points. A lot of people assume that they should wait for interest rates to drop before buying. But the reality is that once the rates come down, more buyers jump into the market that drives prices up. Right now, buyers still have some negotiating power in certain areas with less competition. They might be able to secure a better deal. When rate drops, affordability improves, but so does demand, which can push prices higher and lead to bidding wars. So if someone is financially ready, locking in a purchase now before the market heats up can be a smart move. Plus, buyers can always finance later if rates drop further. Timing the market perfectly is tough, but being ahead of the crowd usually works in your favor. But wait, now there is another factor, and that is when the rates keep dropping, buyers may feel, well, let's wait and see how long it'll go down. This can cause, as we're seeing, as listings start to accumulate. This is what we're seeing right now. And keep in mind of the political climate we're in today with the PM. What impact will that have here? So as always, planning and understanding is what will drive the market.
It's similar to when banks lend more money at low rates and suddenly everyone ends up spending more money.
Exactly. Just like when people got, those checks, they had extra cash, spent more frequently and drove prices up. Low interest rates can have a similar effect on the real estate market.
Now, Jeff, regarding interest rates in Canada, did you see the latest predictions from Bank of Montreal and RBC?
Yeah, they're saying rates might fall quicker and lower than expected, especially with those new US tariffs in place. What numbers are they throwing around? I'm not really sure.
Bank of Montreal is predicting the Bank of Canada might slash interest rates down to around 2% by July this year. RBC agrees and even mentioned that if these US tariffs stick around, the rates might drop even more aggressively. What do you think about that?
That's huge news. Lower rates usually mean good news for home buyers since borrowing gets cheaper, but it's kind of a mixed scenario. On one hand, cheaper mortgages can boost affordability, but on the other hand, if these tariffs push inflation higher and slow down the economy, buyers might still be hesitant, which we are kind of seeing right now in today's market.
Definitely seeing that right now. Very true. And homeowners who recently renewed at higher rates might be feeling frustrated as well. They could be locked into higher payments while watching others lock in cheaper rates. Plus, it creates uncertainty in the housing market. People might wait to buy expecting even lower rates in the future, right?
Totally. Timing the market is always tricky, but announcements like this can make buyers pause and watch closely before making their moves.
It'll be interesting to see how this plays out over the next few months coming up here for sure. And if any of you are planning on making the move to the Surrey, BC area or anywhere in the Fraser Valley or Metro Vancouver area, don't forget to give us a call. The number will be in the description below. We absolutely love getting reach outs from all of you. So please make sure to call, text, or email us if you're planning on making the move out here or around the area. You can also schedule a call or meeting using the link in the description of this video. And you can also get yourself the new JC Holmes or Ricky J. the Realtor thermal travel flask mug or a free t-shirt or one of the new really cool desktop phone holders that people have been absolutely loving. I just gave 2 away out on the weekend. All right. All you have to do is drop a comment saying I have subscribed in the comment section of any one of our videos after subscribing to our channel, and I will send you out one of these items for absolutely free. Back into the video, Jeff. Now here's a question I get all the time from people. Are prices coming down more this year? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think as before, Rick, the time is the biggest factor. Prices will continue to be a hot topic, but it's not so easy to say that the trends we're seeing will continue in one direction. Many people speculate based on their own desires. However, there are many different factors that come into play, as I mentioned earlier.
Jeff, what's the real reason many or most millennials and Gen Z still can't afford homes, even if interest rates drop?
The main issue is that lowering interest rates actually push prices higher, making homes more harder to be affordable. Millennials, Gen Zs already struggle because wages haven't kept in pace with the rising home costs. And saving for a large down payment is tough. When borrowing gets cheaper, more buyers flood the market and competition drives prices up even further. It's a tough cycle, and lowering rates alone won't solve the affordability problem.
Now, Jeff, I've got a theory about the housing market and younger people. What if millennials and Gen Z inherit homes but immediately sell them because they need cash right away? Could that flood the market, leaving a surplus of homes with fewer buyers, especially since wages don't seem to be rising anytime soon? Do you think that that's realistic realistically possible in the future?
That's an excellent observation. And it really comes down to the understanding of those individuals that were fortunate enough to acquire such fortune. Just like hitting the lottery. If you don't plan how to handle your fortune, well, let's call it a fortunate situation, right? It can all go to waste or a wasted opportunity as well. That's why in real estate, you need a realtor who is experienced and will guide you accordingly. So the future, don't know.
Now, one quick question here before we end this episode. Is there any specific areas in the Fraser Valley right now to snag a good deal if you're looking to buy a townhome or a single family home? Are you finding more activity in certain areas compared to other areas?
Okay, well, see, that all depends on what a person's looking for and what the reason for buying. Everyone is always looking for a good deal. However, that doesn't always mean that they're able to pull the trigger when needing to. So investors versus home buyers are different. So can they be good deals? Yeah, they can be good deals. And are they willing to pull the trigger?
So do you feel that this next interest rate announcement that's coming up here in a couple of days might make more buyers pull the trigger?
Well, interest rate announcements, whether they go higher or lower, right? It all depends on situations. If they go lower, right, as we mentioned before, how much further does it go down until buyers start feeling that I should jump in? If it keeps going down and down, buyer psychology is let's see how far it goes down, right? And that will halt the market and you start seeing a pile of listings again. If we see a small spike in the interest rate, that might encourage people to say, okay, I think we bottomed out and I think we should start jumping in again, right? So we've seen this happen before where when the interest rates started going higher and higher and higher, look at the sales activity. People started buying like crazy because they didn't want to miss out. The same is in reverse. If the interest rates keep going down, people might think, oh, it might go lower. It might go lower. It might go lower. So could it have an impact? It definitely can, but it depends on what situation you're in and what you're looking to buy. It goes right back to planning and your motivation for buying.
And that wraps up this episode, everyone. Check out the Surrey BC Real Estate Podcast on all audio streaming platforms online. Drop a comment below and tell us what you think is going to happen this year in our real estate market. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to stay informed about everything happening in Surrey, BC and the Fraser Valley real estate market. This is Ricky G, the realtor, and Jeff Chad at JC Homes. We are out. Bye, everyone. See you on the next episode.